To compete with established financial hubs, you also need the jurisdiction. So how is IFSCA collaborating with regulators from UK, EU, Middle East, Asia, and how is that happening?
It is just not about regulatory alignment, but it's also about the capacity of our own staff.
Yeah.
So therefore, our own officers, they keep going for international training programs, which are run by regulators and regulatory associations. That gives them the capability to actually handle these modern day issues that come in financial markets.
Gift City is rewriting India's role in global finance, shaping cross-border flows and opening doors for international business like never before. It represents one of India's most ambitious financial experiments, a platform designed to compete with the world's leading hubs. I'm Mugdha Kalra, and today on Navigate with HSBC, we are coming to you from Hyderabad, a city that reflects India's ambition to become a global hub for innovation, technology, and financial services. And in that larger journey, Gift City stands at the center of India's vision to unlock global financial flows and build a world-class international financial center. And to decode the evolution, the opportunities, and the road ahead for Gift City, we are joined by someone who has been steering this mission with immense clarity and purpose, Shri K, Rajaraman. Chairperson of the International Financial Services Centers Authority, an IS officer and a seasoned leader with over 35 years of experience across telecom, infrastructure, public finance, and economic policy. Mr. Rajaraman, thank you for joining us. So what an absolute pleasure to have you here with us and talk us through what's happening with the absolutely ambitious project that we call Gift City. And it was envisioned as India's real gateway to global finance. How far have we come? How do you assess the success, and where do we pivot from here?
So thank you, first of all, for having me here. What sets apart the initiative, this project called Gift City, which is a Gift City International Financial Center, is the fact that I think we are very different from the normal global financial centers. I mean, I think many centers like say Hong Kong, Singapore, etc. They are all brownfield sites, because they grew around 200, 300 years of trading, and they morphed into financial centers.
Right.
So we are a completely greenfield financial center, and therefore it's the work that you have done is very significant from that perspective. Started from a clean slate. So in various ways, there was no physical infrastructure there, and there were no laws or regulations there. I think everything was built up bottom up from the scratch. So the thinking of the government was that I think there are many Indian corporates which go all across the world in search of a variety of financial services. I mean, I think be it equity in the form of funds, or maybe to hire ships, or to lease airplanes, or to borrow from a bank, or even issue bonds, and so on and so forth. So everything, I think, was in various financial centers. So the thought process was that how do we onshore a lot of that, I think. And many of these activities which were done offshore were all India-focused as well, I think. Like, for instance, funds in Mauritius or Singapore or many other locations. So the idea was that how do we make a platform which provides the comfort as well as the financial efficiency, and also the tax efficiency, simplicity in rules and regulations, etc., which is almost like completely aligned with the rest of the world, which means these financial centers. So that was the task before us. So the government then thought that the right way to go about it is to create a legal architecture. So in 2019, an act of parliament was passed. Though, of course, the story of the GIFT IFSC is a little older than that. It starts in 2015 through some executive orders, which the local domestic financial sector regulators managed. But that did not deliver much. So therefore, in 2019, Parliament enacted this International Financial Services Centers Authority Act. That gave us an opportunity of actually writing a new set of regulations, which are not cut and paste of the domestic regulations. So that because the competition was elsewhere, competition was all over the world, the global financial centers. The idea was that how do we emulate the best practices in regulation in the rest of the world, I think. So therefore, our team assembled the various kinds of regulations in banking, insurance, capital markets, etc., from all these jurisdictions, and then notified a set of regulations which are almost completely aligned with the global regulations. So that has provided the edge for GIFT City in terms of being competitive. But our biggest strength is not really the regulations. It is a great Indian growth story. So therefore, India will be the one of the fastest growing large economies in the world for a long time from now. So therefore, the world is looking towards investing into India. So therefore, GIFT City provides an attractive platform for global investors to come in,
Makes it easy as
and
well.
make a soft landing to invest into
Yeah.
India, and also provides them the flexibility of investing in a regional basis as well, not just India as well.
One of the most fascinating stories about GIFT City is, as you said, it was very ambitious right from the start and very financially ambitious with a strategic approach for really taking the enhancement of depth, liquidity, and diversity in capital markets across your asset classes such as equities, bonds, commodities, digital assets. Where is that story going? And it is very ambitious and very aggressive right from the beginning.
It is very important for GIFT City to be ready with a variety of products, investment products, banking, insurance, or capital markets products, or pension products, and so on and so forth, in order to attract global investors. So we have gone part of the way. I would say, because a lot of our, like for instance, banks like HSBC and have actually manufactured products which also support retail investors as well, besides the corporate investor. So our biggest focus today is not only the large corporations across the world which intend to invest into India. Our focus is also on our non-resident Indians who live across the world. There are 15.8 million NRIs. There are 19.3 million persons of Indian origin, not to speak of the millions of HNIs who belong to foreign who are foreigners. So the idea is that to build a retail market in GIFT City. Currently, GIFT City is largely a corporate marketplace where corporate source, all kinds of financial services. The retail market is just building up. Banks, including HSBC, have products like structured deposits. They also have wealth management products by facilitating investors to invest into Indian markets as well as abroad. And GIFT City is also a platform which is not only inward-looking, but is also outward-looking, because there are a number of wealthy Indians who invest abroad. So the idea is that to create a set of products that excite investors to come in here in a big way. So the work is in progress, and we believe that when you talk about liquidity, there are some segments of the market which have become quite liquid. I would say that the derivatives market, especially the GIFT Nifty 50, is a success story, which we have managed to onshore from Singapore, thanks to the cooperation from the Singapore Exchange and the Monetary Authority of Singapore.
It's the most trusted.
So therefore, the product today averages about $100 billion a month. And for instance, last month, I think there was a day on which I think the open interest was about nearly $23 billion. So it is a very liquid product. And not only that, we have, in order to further enhance liquidity, we have enabled remote trading from certain foreign jurisdictions to enable prop trading from these jurisdictions. So this also has added value to the product. So we expect that various segments of the market also become equally liquid. So this is a work in progress, and we believe that this will happen in course of time. If I may say in the case of retail market, there are a few fund managers who have just launched inbound and outbound retail funds, so which are basically mutual funds meant for the retail investors.
Right.
So this will attract a number of investors, including resident Indians who want to invest outwards, as well as non-resident Indians and foreigners who want to invest into the Indian market through these funds. So this industry is also expected to become a very liquid industry in course of time. We also believe that certain very important measures are necessary to bring in liquidity in the retail segment. There are two of them which I want to outline now, on which work has been done. One of them is a customer who's sitting in San Francisco or in Dubai would like to use a mobile app to actually to invest or to exit or whatever. So he doesn't believe in sending emails and paperwork and all that stuff.
Tech should be enabling enough.
Yes. So therefore, there are two very important things in this. First one is that we need to have a very efficient digital online onboarding process. So KYC. So therefore, very recently we have notified an online video KYC mechanism, which for NRIs.
Okay.
So this has gone live, and many institutions have started using it to onboard customers. Now we are working with the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and the UIDAI to enable face authentication also cross-border, which means that will be even faster process.
Correct.
These will be meant for people who already have an Aadhaar footprint, not for the foreigner. For the true foreigners, who don't have any ID footprint in India, we are now formed a working group which has started working with on a framework which will need to be notified by the Government of India to enable such kind of people to come in. We are also working with the Ministry of External Affairs on enabling access to the OCI card database for persons of Indian origins also to invest and onboard themselves effectively.
Noted.
The second part other than KYC is the speed of payments. Somebody who wants to invest will want to pay in a nanosecond. So he doesn't want to mail and then or issue a transfer order and wait for a day to actually get it affected. So payment services providers have now been enabled through a regulation. So there are about 7 of them who have been licensed and about 3 have become operational. So with that, we believe that they will build all these payment bridges between various jurisdictions, enabling people to transfer money in an instant. So these two, over the next few months, will get operationalized. And we expect that large institutions like HSBC will also work with these kind of fintechs to make digital onboarding and as well as payment services to be done in a very, very speedy way.
Wonderful. We spoke about all the enabling infrastructure that is being put up for all kind of consumer. But to compete with established financial hubs, you also need the jurisdiction is very crucial, and that alignment is very necessary. So how is IFSCA collaborating with regulators from UK, EU, Middle East, Asia, and how is that happening?
As I already mentioned during the first part of my intervention, that our work has been to align ourselves with the rest of the world in terms of regulation.
Yeah.
Once we do that, I think investors as well as corporations, businesses, all of them will feel very comfortable and convenient. Today, the global financial centers have largely achieved that alignment.
Correct.
So we can't be left behind. So therefore, IFSCA is a member in a number of international organizations called like the IFSCA, the International Organization of Security Commissions, which actually provides a platform for regulators like us to actually exchange notes and ensure that our regulations stay in tandem and are completely aligned. So it's a constant process because market evolves, regulations evolve, and therefore all regulators are moving towards ensuring alignment. Similarly, I think we are also members of an International Association of Insurance Supervisors because it's just not about regulation alone. It's also about supervision. Because today, if you do cross-border business, then we also need to protect investors. So which means that I need to know if there is an investor across the border who probably is as a bad actor. Then in that case, we need to, as a regulator, collaborate with those regulators to ensure that investors' interests are protected. So therefore, from that perspective, supervisory collaboration and cooperation is also very important from a regulatory perspective. And these platforms, IFSCA, IAS, all afford that benefit. On top of that, we have also signed MOUs with several, more than a dozen regulators directly. So, and we are also working towards signing MOUs with central banks as well. So that because, if there's a bank in GIFT City, a bank branch, and something were to go wrong, it should not normally. So then I think we should have the ability to seek information or to work on some arrangements to protect the investors. So it is a necessity, and therefore I think we will continue that way. And let me also say that it is just not about regulatory alignment, but it's also about the capacity of our own staff. So therefore, our own officers, they keep going for international training programs, which are run by regulators and regulatory associations. That gives them the capability to actually handle these modern day issues that come in financial markets.
Before I let you go, looking ahead to 2035, what would be the metric for you, qualitative and quantitative, to look at GIFT as truly a success and a big financial hub?
So let me take a step back. See, I mentioned that IFSCA is nothing but a tool or an instrument in the India growth story. So while we were working on onshoring the offshore for the last several years, our focus has changed to the vision outlined by our Honorable Prime Minister on Vikasit Bharat at 2047, which is a very important vision outlined in enabling India to become a developed country. Right. So if you look at the last several years, you have seen a number of measures being taken, structural reforms, sectoral reforms, and a lot of development programs like advanced manufacturing programs like PLI and so on and so forth. So very recently also we have seen a number of measures like shipbuilding mission and so on and so forth. In our view, Vikasit Bharat at 2047 is about about doing certain things right at this point of time, so that these things happen in the next 25
As a
years.
foundation
So these
for-
foundational, interventions have to be done now. And what are they? I mean, I think if you ask me, the first one is complete the reform process. So which means that now the Prime Minister has also outlined that many of our colonial laws, which date back to early part of the
Revert the
19th century,
regulations.
need to be replaced. So a lot of them have been replaced. I would say about 30-40%. The work is in progress. In the next couple of years, you will see a completely new legal architecture. Parliament is extremely busy with that. In the last session, for instance, all the shipping laws got replaced.
Yeah.
I used to be Secretary Telecom in the Government of India till 2023.
That sector has gone through
and
major
the
changes.
act that used to govern the telecom sector was the Indian Telegraph Act
I
of
know.
1885. So we got it. We got a new law drafted, and the cabinet approved it in 23, and Parliament also enacted it in 23. So we have a
Yes.
Telecom Act of 23. These are all modern laws which are business friendly, technology positive, and also aligned with the rest of the world.
Yeah, international standards.
Yes. So therefore, we believe that this process has to be completed very quickly, and with all the ministries at work. The second pillar, if you may ask me, is the investment pillar, which is in manufacturing, infrastructure,
Yeah.
R&D, and so on, of the new age programs like just
Correct.
mentioned, PLI, the shipbuilding mission, and so on and so forth. The third pillar is the technology pillar. The future is all about technology. I think no sector would be left behind when I think in
And we're
technology.
doing very well on that.
Yes. So therefore, the thought process is that how does a design in India product emerge from every sector, which matters over the next several years. So for that, I think IFSC also plays a very important role. The regulations that we make are also focused on how do we build technology out of GIFT City for the world. So all the technology companies in India have actually set up operations there. The Wipros, the Infosys, TCS, Intellect Design, HCL, all of them are there. So we expect all these technology companies to build the financial stacks for the world. And the fourth pillar, if you may ask me, is the inclusion pillar, which means at the bottom of the pyramid. As now, I think you saw the financial inclusion 1.0, 540 million people brought into the formal financial ecosystem. This will scale up. So when all this is being done, I think it will require a lot of capital.
Yeah.
And that is where IFSCA will come in. I think we would see that the reform process will provide the additional bandwidth for foreign investors to come in a bigger way. So today the FDI is about $80 billion. The next 5 to 10 years, we would expect this FDI to scale up to say about $150 to $200 billion. So if that were, and that will require something similar amount of money as borrowings, as external commercial borrowings in terms of loans. So IFSC will play a very important role in raising this part of this equity, this debt, and a whole host of other financial services. Not to speak of things like, say, aircraft leasing, ship leasing, etc. Today, we saw a news item that one of our very large airlines is investing nearly about 7,000 crores in a leasing arm in GIFT City. So this is the way I think 2047 is about Indian companies becoming global champions, and we would be supporting that process.
Fantastic. You have quite a job ahead of you with even more ambitious plans. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all the wonderful insights and for taking out time for us. Our conversation today has made one thing clear. GIFT City is not just an idea anymore. It's a fast emerging platform to channel global capital, deepen India's financial markets, and create seamless cross-border financial flows. As India looks ahead to 2035, GIFT City's success will be defined by its ability to stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's leading financial hubs. And this conversation shows that the foundation is already in place. Thank you for tuning in to Navigate with HSBC. Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to HSBC India. I'm Mugdha Kalra, and you were watching Navigate with HSBC.